Right, so there's a website that goes along with the course. It's available here. It's a portal, cs5610online.rhcloud.com. All the assignments are available through here. There's a little bit about myself, and there's an agenda that we're going to be trying to follow. I'm going to try and have all the sections, all the courses, all the lectures match so that I don't go crazy. So I'm teaching everything the same throughout the courses. Some of you might be in my mornings class that have decided to come in my evening classes, or if you prefer the morning classes, you can switch around. I will try to keep the same material all throughout. There's also on Blackboard. We're not using Blackboard mostly for submission, right? To submit grades and take online quizzes. There's 6 quizzes for this course. They're going to be about every 2 weeks. There's also 6 assignments, also every 2 weeks. So they'll be alternating. You have 1 week you'll have an assignment due. Another week you'll have the quiz. Right? They're all due on Tuesdays. So the assignments will be due on Tuesdays. And then the next Tuesday there'll be a quiz, and then an assignment due on that Tuesday, and then a quiz on that Tuesday. Make sense? And here's the agenda. A little bit about myself first. I think I have to update my syllabus. It's been a while since I've updated this. I've been it's correct. I've been in software engineering for about 20 years, in all sorts of capacity, in all sorts of industries, and from a junior developer all the way to an architect, in all sorts of industries, financial industry and telecommunications, Department of Defense, all sorts of things. So I have a lot of anecdotes from all sorts of places that I'd like to share with you, and I'm still practicing consultant, so I'm out there in the industry, and I love to share some stories and anecdotes from the trenches. A lot of my practice informs what I teach here. I focus a lot on best practices. How do you actually build things that it's good for deployment, right? For production. Most of your software. You're not coding for yourself, you're coding for someone else, right? Someone is going to be looking at your source code. Your source code will typically outlive you for many years. Somebody is going to have to come and look at your source code and try to make some sense of what it is that you intended, what was your intention when you were writing that. So following best practices is always a good idea, right? To follow some structure so that folks other than yourself can come here and modify your code, right? Make changes and refactor it and make improvements. So a lot of software engineering goes into my courses. There's here contact information, right? So there's my contact. There's a piazza that goes along with this, right? You should all have received an invitation to piazza. Anybody not receive the invitation to Piazza? Okay, if you haven't, please see me at the end of the class, and I'll you let me know your email. I'll invite you. We are sharing the same Piazza with both sections, right? So sometimes I'll be referring to Tuesdays and Fridays. That's the other sections, or referring to Wednesdays, which is tonight, right? So some of the sections might be a day ahead of you. Okay, so something that I might comment for them, it's not yet for you, not just yet. For Blackboard, there are 2 Blackboards. There's an nuonline.edu, and there is a blackboard.nu.edu. Okay, and I just found out that some of you are in one Blackboard and some of you are in the other Blackboard, right? And it's just going to be a nightmare for me to manage both and keep them straight in my head. Okay, so I'm trying to have them fix that, right, and put everything in one single Blackboard. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that for me, but nevertheless, I think most of you are in the nuonline.nu.edu, and hopefully you've been able to log in. You found it, and you can log in. Those of you that are in Blackboard.nu.edu, I'm hoping to migrate that also to NU Online. Hopefully, it'll be done by the end of the week. So bear with me. We're not going to use Blackboard that much anyway. Okay, so that won't be too bad. Not just yet, anyway. The course has tons and tons of videos all throughout. My intention is that you watch those videos before you come to class. Okay, so that you already know what we're going to be talking about, right? That you might be formulating questions, that something that is not didn't sink in or you didn't understand. Please make notes of those and bring those questions to class or ask them in piazza. All right. So I'm going to assume that you have already seen some of the material. Well, not today, but going forward, the Wednesday next week. Hopefully, you've already seen some of the material, and it'll I can assume some of that content. Also, the lectures will be available here, where it says course videos. Right, there will be right now. This playlist for spring 2017. They will be available here. Some of them will be for the section in the morning. Some of them will be for the section in the evening. Right, they'll all appear here in this playlist, so you can always go back and take a look at the material. Okay. There's also videos from past semesters, past sections. If you want to look ahead and see some of the material that we're going to be covering, is there. Let's see, what else? For the first week, we're going to be focusing on this left-hand side, this development environment module. So these on the left-hand side, we're going to refer to these as modules as we go through the semester. The module that I'm going to be focusing this week or so will be on the development environment. Right? We're going to be setting up a development environment, downloading servers and databases and IDEs, and having a development environment installed in your local machine. Okay. Also, we're going to be setting up a hosted environment where we can deploy your servers, deploy your databases, so that you're running this online. Right. Also, we're going to be setting up GitHub as our source control, so that you can, all our submission, when you submit something, really all your submit will be to GitHub. Okay. The only thing that you'll need to do in Blackboard is to notify us that yes, I have completed it. Perhaps copy and paste the URL of the GitHub URL and a URL to your hosted environment, only as a convenience for us TAs and myself, right? But that's just going to be a formality to submit something on Blackboard, right? So that we can give you a grade, right? But really, the submission happens in GitHub, okay? If you already have a GitHub account, feel free to use your GitHub account. You'll need to create a repo, a code repo for this course, dedicated to this course. There's an assignment that walks you through this whole thing, right? That I'll ask you to install Node.js, download and install MongoDB, create a GitHub repository and all that, deploy to some hosted environment. It used to be that we only used OpenShift as a hosted environment. Last year we added AWS. If you want to use AWS as a hosted environment, this semester I'm pushing Heroku as a hosted environment. If you want to use that instead, I like it a lot. It's free. If you stay within boundaries, it's free. Also for the database, we're promoting the use of MLab. It's a hosted MongoDB hosted environment as well. So hopefully by the end of this week, by next Tuesday, hopefully by next Tuesday, you will have a working the development environment on your machines and a hosted environment on Heroku or MLab. Yes?
When you say you're promoting, does that mean you can host it elsewhere?
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you host it, right? It just makes it easier for us if everybody has more or less the same development environment. It'll make it easier for us to support you. Okay, you know, if you run into trouble, right, we'll be more knowledgeable or familiar with one of these three environments. Okay, but certainly if you want to host it on Google or some other app engine or whatever, that's fine as well. Okay. All right. Let's see. All right. So I'm going to just give an overview of the technology stack that we're going to be using throughout the semester. A little bit of history, just to put us, just to ground us all of where we have been, where we are, and where we might go. I don't assume any prior knowledge. So the first week, I might go a little bit slow. Perhaps talking about things that you might already know about, but that's just to make sure that we're all on the same page. I assume everybody knows HTML and knows a little bit of JavaScript and whatnot. Perhaps you've done some server-side development as well, quite a bit. We're going to be doing a lot of client-side development, right? At least towards the beginning of the semester, right? We'll go back to server-side development towards the end of the semester, halfway through. So, all right. So let's talk about where we've been a little bit. I'm going to stop this